Empower would like to welcome you to today's webinar, The Importance of Staff Meetings, with regular conversations with your team that's going to help build that strong salon and spa culture. Empower You supports salon owners and service providers with the tools to really effectively run their businesses. We support you in a wide variety of platforms, which include our Salon and Spa VIP consulting, our B School for Industry, our instant income for service providers, our custom in-salon makeovers, Rev Up consulting for solopreneurs, Fierce front desk training, and our leadership and life coaching. Today we're going to be discussing discovering the most powerful recruiting tool, defining your culture, and reviewing the 4 key points inside of your business. So how important are staff meetings? And more importantly, what role do they play in maintaining that healthy culture? The answer is this: they are essential. Regular staff meetings are essential. Holding regular staff meetings will greatly enhance the communication efforts that make up that foundation of your culture. So let's take a quick look at a culture model for really those high-performing teams. Now, it doesn't matter what type of team. All highly performing teams have 3 key components. What's the first component? Well, it's communication. We also look at leadership from a compassionate standpoint and unity. The funny thing about communication is this: there seems to always be a false sense that it's taking time. When I speak with owners and managers, they tell me, I communicate daily with my team. My staff knows exactly what's going on. However, when I speak with your team members, I hear the complete opposite. Think about this: even our personal relationships with our significant others or even our family, there's that illusion that a communication is taking place. So can you guys kind of relate to this? I thought I told them about that, or you never listen. It's simple. When there's a lack of communication within our salon and spas, you're going to find dysfunctional teams, team members that aren't vested in really your salon and spa, and they're not committed to the overall purpose. They are not even clear as to what the culture of your salon and spa needs to be, and they really don't even feel connected to that big picture. So when this starts to happen inside of our businesses, we really should expect pretty much a high turnover rate. So what's the answer? It can be pretty simple. It's all about holding regular staff and team meetings. Let's look at some of the benefits of really holding these team meetings. First of all, it creates unity. I'm not certain if you remember the model we just reviewed. Unity was the second component of the culture model of highly performing teams. When teams communicate on a regular basis, it creates a sense of oneness. When team members are part of a highly held staff meeting, it creates a sense of trust. When our team can communicate with one another, they are encouraged to actively participate, and trust becomes developed. I truly believe that when our team is engaged, involved, and feeling a part of our team, the morale is increased. And lastly, when team members are given a voice and an opportunity to be part of that decision-making process, they will take great ownership. And when a team member takes ownership of our salon and spas, it really helps enforcing our culture. I know you really might be thinking to yourself, ugh, we've tried staff meetings before and our team hated them. All they did was complain and really kind of felt like there was nothing accomplished. So then you decided to maybe stop having them all together. I know some of you guys can relate to this. I can promise you, you are not alone. The problem with having the staff meeting is that it wasn't really about the staff meeting that was the problem. It was what was perceived by your staff that really became the problem. What if I told you there's this really simple way to get your team excited about attending your staff meetings? And what if those staff meetings were empowering, inspiring, and profit producing? Now, my hunch is you'd be a little bit more interested in those staff meetings and having them more on a consistent basis. All I can say is make your team meetings matter, or don't meet at all. It's a waste of your time and your staff's time. Effective slow spa meetings should leave your team feeling energized and feeling that you accomplished something. An effective, well-planned team meeting can boost productivity, increase the effectiveness of decision-making process, and reduce the number of changes that will require your attention. Effective staff meetings just don't happen. Laying the foundation for an awesome meeting takes little investment on your time up front. You'll need to plan it and also organize it. So let's kind of look at this for just a minute. I'm going to give you some simple guidelines to turn those boring, dreadful staff meetings into a meeting that empowers your team. The number one step is this. You're going to pre-plan your phase. Try to run an effective, engaging meeting. You'll have to come up with a game plan. So like, what do you really want to accomplish? What do you need to address? And you know those hot topics. And how can you motivate your team to greatness? These are some questions that you should ask yourself to begin when you start creating your agenda. Number two, the meeting. Start off first with settling the tone of the meeting, making it fun. Start off by using an icebreaker and get everybody engaged right from the beginning of the meeting. Get everyone involved. Follow your agenda. Stay on point. Address those hot topics and move on. Don't allow it to become a breeding zone for negativity. And address those hot topics and move on. Celebrate. Make sure you celebrate your team's success at each meeting. Share a few individual success stories. Read positive comments your clients maybe have left behind. As team members, to acknowledge someone in the group, perhaps help them out. Reward, praise, acknowledge, and lastly, be certain to end your meeting with a big bang and on a positive, powerful note. Sometimes you can just leave the team saying, "That was such an awesome meeting. Thanks for joining me today." And lastly is that follow-up. Follow-up is so important and is part of the success of your meetings. Make certain that you create a list of items that require follow-up. Really review your meeting minutes and make sure you know who's going to be attending, who's going to be doing what, and by when. If you're committed to accomplishing something, be certain that you follow up and share with your team what is completed. So as we wrap up today, the time together today, I want to remind you that really holding those regular staff schedule meetings will take practice, dedication, and consistency on your part. But before you know it, those staff meetings will become a part of your culture. Your team will be starting to look forward to them, and your customers will be more connected to a really highly successful team. Be certain to really keep your eyes open out for all of our free, helpful tools. Empowering You again wants to thank you for your time and energy in participating on this training webinar. We want to take a moment to leave you with a parting quote. It's time to make a positive and permanent change. It's time to embrace your leadership potential. It's time to live and lead an empowered life.